right here, said sit down, right there, don't go nowhere, little baby gon' shake that, 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 said yeah, I like that, bring that, right here, said sit down, right there, don't go nowhere, said yeah, I like that, bring that, right here, said sit down, right there.
Welcome back, we back with another Detective Williams reaction when evil parents realize they've been caught, part 2. Let's get into it.
Right, and I'm going to try and control my emotions. All right, I've been to a child death investigator school, and I've seen photos and images of children that have been malnourished.
Man, you already know this is probably another remix reaction because I done seen this case 78 goddamn times. Anyway, let's get into it. It's a little bit more information being disseminated right now, so.
And I'm telling you right now, this is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Oh no, really?
Yes.
Oh. Insinuate that I'm not and I'm losing my identity. He's like, I don't know what I do. And then, what do you do? Insinuate my mother.
Parents are supposed to protect and care for their children, but sadly, this is not always the case. Here are 8 of the most shocking times evil parents realized they've been arrested. Starting with the despicable case of Olympic superstar Hope Solo. On March 31st, 2022, Winston-Salem police officers found Hope drunk and asleep with the car running. To make matters worse, Hope had allegedly been traveling along with her 2 kids.
People were kind of concerned saying you guys were out here sleeping and want to make sure you were okay. Okay, what's going on? Why are you sleeping out here in the parking lot?
Because I took a nap.
Okay, where do you live? 1324 code 2.
The officer is immediately suspicious of Hope and asks her why she's sleeping in her car.
Are your kids okay?
Yes.
Okay, why are you sleeping in the parking lot?
Because I'm tired.
Okay, where do you live?
I live.
How much have you been drinking today? Why don't you turn the car off first? Let's turn the car off first.
It's okay if I...
It's okay, what? How much have you drink tonight?
I'm not.
You sure?
I'm fine.
I'm asking you how much have you had to drink. I'm not asking you how much are you fine. I understand you're talking to me. How much have you had to drink tonight?
I'm not.
0 alcohol. Alright, do you have your ID with you?
Sir, I'm just, I didn't have my ID.
Okay, can you get that for me, please?
Of course. Give me a second.
No, can you do that now, please? Thank you.
I'm going to.
Hope continued scrolling on her phone, even making a phone call, all while the officer waited for Hope to hand in her ID.
That's the nicest officer I've ever seen. I'm like, bro, I'm about to wait for you to do all this other what did he just say 5 minutes ago? License registration, right? Man, you better cough this up.
This was trying to take a nap because I'm sick. Parenting driving like. Yeah, I know. I mean, I pulled over in a Walmart parking lot to take a nap, but I have no idea why he's here. But, you know.
So they were just concerned. And now when you roll up the window, I could smell alcohol. I could smell a sweet odor of alcohol coming from you.
What you mean a sweet odor? Is you an alcoholic too, officer?
I don't think so, sir.
Yeah, and your eyes are telling me something different by looking at it too. How much are you drinking? Can I just be sure with me? 0 alcohol.
Young 77 Charles at 8 at 0Y77C8. Care advised it's been running since noon today.
Can you get your ID, please?
Inside the vehicle, but it advises very dark window.
No, you're not. You're on your phone. I need you to get your ID for me, please.
I have every right to.
You do, and you have every right to comply with police when they're asking you for your ID.
Of course.
Can you please get that for me? Or where are you trying to come? Where are you coming from anyway?
I'm not.
Okay, where are you coming from?
My vehicle is not even.
Hope is now slurring her speech even more than before and is unable to follow orders, a clear sign that she's drunk, despite her denying it. Then, a second officer is seen arriving on the scene, and things begin to escalate.
She's drunk. And she got 2 kids. She was passed out asleep in the front seat. She won't tell me anything. Like she said, I was just sleeping. But you could smell like the odor, a sweet aroma anyway coming from inside that smells like alcohol. And she's completely oblivious to everything that's like going on right now.
Hope eventually hands in her ID, but begins arguing
He said a sweet aroma. She could be diabetic, bro. You're done. I'm just saying.
with the officers.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, I just was gonna take a nap.
Okay. Where are you coming from?
It doesn't matter where I'm coming from, but the car has not been.
No, but it's been on.
No, it has not been on.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't, sir.
And you turned the car off right in front of me. The car was not off.
I'm sorry, it was not. I was just taking a nap.
We're not. I can do this. Step on out of the vehicle, or I will make you step out of the vehicle. I'm asking you nicely, so you don't cause a scene in front of your kids. Yes, I can. I can do all these things. Okay? Step on out of the vehicle. Step on out of the vehicle for me. Step on out, or I'm pulling you out. Again, you have 2 kids in this car. You have 2 kids in this car. Don't embarrass you in front of your kids. Step out of the car.
Can you tell me why you're...
Step out of the car so I can make sure you are sober and able to be a competent adult in front of these kids.
I am a competent adult.
Okay, then step out of the car.
Can you tell me why?
Because you smell like alcohol.
That's fine,
and you're
but I'm
passed
not
out in the
driving.
car
I
with
took
the
a nap.
car on. So
took a
step
nap.
out of the vehicle.
The car was
I'm not
on.
asking you again.
I would like to call my attorney.
Step out of the car.
The officers urge Hope to take field sobriety tests.
I ain't gonna lie, that snatch was just so uncalled for, bro. And if you get a charge for that, that's on you, bro. Ain't nobody tell you snatch her out the vehicle, brother.
But she refuses and instead begins asking for her attorney.
You are not calling your attorney anyone right now. Right now, the 2 things you're going to do is you're going to stand here. Do you consent to providing field sobriety
You took my
tests?
phone,
Yes, I did.
Because you're not complying to law enforcement right now.
but I am compliant.
No, you're not.
No, you're
I
not.
have 2 kids in the car.
Yes, and you've made them cry.
I took a nap.
You've made them cry now because you
I'm
wouldn't
not
comply.
driving.
Or
I
the
took
car
a-
was on.
The car was not on, sir.
Cry.
So I need my phone.
Then I'm taking you to jail.
Okay.
And you won't be
Not
phone.
so-
Nope. 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 Put your hands behind your back. Now. You're now under arrest for resist, delay, obstruct of an
Because
officer.
we're trying to investigate something and you're not being cooperative right now.
Once arrested, the officers obtain a warrant to get a blood draw in order to test it for alcohol. Down at the EMS station, Hope's attitude only goes downhill.
I don't need you to touch me.
All right, let's go.
I can walk by
Well,
myself.
I'll make sure that
Oh my god, you don't need to touch me.
All right, that's fine.
Alright, that's cool. Because I will have a complaint that you touched me inappropriately. Do not touch me.
We've done this.
I will get in the car.
So where did the kids go in this instance? Like, what the hell? So we just leaving the kids in a vehicle unattended to? Somebody gotta be watching their ass.
You don't need to touch me.
Nice.
Ever.
So I can put the
Don't
seatbelt.
You are loving this, aren't you?
No, I hate it.
No, you love it. You love every moment of it.
What?
Hope's blood test had come back positive for alcohol and surprisingly, THC, an active component in marijuana.
Your point? I was about to say I'm on that right now, but what that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. She's an alcoholic, brother. I need to let that go. She bugging out. I'll be Pac-Man. She stupid. Okay.
And up until now, the officers had no idea who she really was.
I'm so sorry you had nothing else to do tonight. So I hope I was very entertaining for you, because I know I was. I know that I blessed you with my presence. So that's what I do.
No one knows who you are.
My kids are amazing.
They're under good care with your husband.
They have the best mother and the best husband, the best father in the world.
Good.
Don't even insinuate that I'm not an amazing mother, you piece of Jesus.
So you're projecting, because he didn't really say that. Like, he really didn't even insinuate it. You just know that's where it's going next because you in the car, drunk, sleep with your kids in it.
You don't know what I do every day. What do you do?
Alright, relax.
Swell.
What the
Relax your hand so she can fingerprint you.
He's 12.
insinuate I'm a bad mother? You. That's my you. I have not once said that, but if you insinuate that, I will say you. I'm an amazing mother, and I'm there every day. Every day. Yeah. Go ahead and talk. You only want to put my children, because I have twins, by the way, children, in danger was your police officers crawling in my car without a search warrant. Oh, I saw that. Crawling in a car. No search warrant. And your police officers are crawling in my car, letting my kids cry. Why? Because I pulled over to take a nap? Oh, that's cool. Way to get a mom. You got her. You got a mom. Good job. Please do. Good job, buddy. You're doing some good work in the world. Right, you're doing.
Cross back on.
Okay, let's get a mom.
Her saying she's an amazing mother while she's being booked for drunk driving and child endangerment shows how good of a mother she really is. Hope Solo was charged with DWI, child abuse, and resisting arrest charges. In exchange for a plea deal, the child abuse and resisting arrest charges were dropped, following which Hope checked herself into a 30-day alcohol abuse program. But Hope's case is nothing compared to the case that
Well, I hope she got the help she needed, bro.
the most despicable and disturbing cases I've ever encountered.
What I want to know is what stopped you from seeking help? You knew something was wrong. What stopped you? Tell us the truth.
Seth and Tatiana Welch are a couple from Solon Township, Kent County, Michigan, who had 3 children, including Mary Ann, with the first child setting Child Protective Services radar off for a couple of years after a significant amount of THC had been found in their system. Despite that, none of the children had ever been to doctors, as Seth claimed that going to a doctor was as dangerous as not going to one. His mistrust in the medical world is yet another step in the couple's excessive religious beliefs, which were used by them to justify child neglect and abuse. Seth and Tatiana often remarked their children as being needy, lazy slugs, or leeches.
See, this is new information being presented. I appreciate that. Still might skip through this.
Taking away resources and would thus withhold food and other basic necessities. Despite countless reports from relatives and friends, nothing was ever done to make a change in their behavior towards their children. Their actions, or rather inactions, eventually led to the death of their child, Mary, on August 2nd, 2018. Mary was found severely malnourished with sunken eyes, bruises and bed sores on her body. The parents, to everyone's dismay, called a lawyer first, and an hour later, the police. When
they call a lawyer first, but their parents, well, Seth's parents are lawyers. So if y'all haven't seen my other reactions, he called his dad first, who was a lawyer, instead of calling 12. But
officers arrived, they found the children covered in dirt and feces. The house was swarming with vermin insects and had mold throughout. Seth and Tatiana presented themselves as grieving parents and were placed in separate rooms for interrogation. Tatiana is interrogated first and breaks down seconds into
but I need Seth's interrogation. That's the only thing I really haven't seen.
the interrogation. This doesn't ring well with the detective, as the parents were very much capable of providing basic care to their children. What follows next is one of the most despicable and horrifying cases I've ever seen.
After seeing there, I was told that verbal. Is that true that he doesn't, or he's very verbal?
Like the fact that Seth is this fat and his kids were malnourished, it's crazy. You heavy bastard.
He's very verbal.
Oh, I don't know. Someone, and you know how they just mixed, you whisper in one person's ear and as it goes down the chain. Maybe he was just being shy. So
He tends to get shy. But
yeah, he did some high-fiving for me, but
he knows lots of words. He's just sometimes big sister can be a little dominating. So
maybe that's what it is.
Him, but,
and probably all the commotion probably really made him shy. And didn't,
Yeah.
I didn't want to.
That's
So maybe they were just saying he was nonverbal right now. Maybe that's what it was.
Damn it. I bet you were removing the good part.
Medical issues or nothing like that? Okay.
Tatiana claims that none of her children had any medical condition whatsoever, despite the fact that her children had never been to a doctor.
Or is she in any kind of daycare? Does she go to preschool?
No, I homeschool. I have my degree in early childhood education.
Okay.
So it was foamy and brown.
What?
Yeah.
I thought maybe she choked on her spit. That's why.
What color was her spit up?
It was foamy and brown.
Ew.
So I thought maybe it was the oatmeal and the fruit mixed in there.
So where was the spit up at?
To the side of her mouth. The side of her face.
And was that, did you think, I don't know, was it food? Was it blood?
No, it wasn't.
It was not blood. Was she have any kind of vomiting of blood or anything like that?
No, never.
Okay.
We would have taken to a doctor.
Well, sure.
That never happened.
So you were certain it was food?
Yes, essentially.
And it was on the side, it was on what side of her face?
Left or other?
Her right side.
Her right side, okay. And then that's when you noticed that she was unresponsive. It was this morning when you saw that. And what happened next?
Alright, here I go.
Excuse me. Her eyes were open.
Anything else looked strange other than obviously just stood up and then her eyes were open? Or other than that, did she look as usual?
It's just cold.
Okay.
So I went in to get set. And it's an emergency, and he's like, and I was just so shocked, and he reminded me I knew CPR, and he told me to start. So I took her from the bed and I put her on her changing table, and I started CPR, and I did the 2-finger touch on the chest. If you use your whole hand, you could break ribs, and I didn't want to do that for sure.
I know this is tough.
So I did a 2-finger touch on the chest and her back, and I wiped her mouth, and I did.
So you did this on her on the kitchen table?
No, the changing table.
On the changing table in the bedroom.
Yes.
So you said you did it on her mouth and then you wiped her mouth.
I wiped her mouth first because it was the spit up. And now that I think about it, I think it was banana and oatmeal. You know when banana's been sitting out and it's very ripe?
Oh, yeah.
It gets that like brownish color.
Yeah.
But ripe banana is very sweet, and that she eats the oatmeal better with it.
So what did you wipe her mouth with?
A baby wipe, a lavender scented baby wipe.
Okay. And then you did what with that?
I threw it in the garbage.
Okay.
Well, not immediately. No, I just wiped her and put it to the side.
Just wiped her and threw it down. Yeah.
Right next on the changing table.
And then you picked her up out of the bed.
Yes. And then I put her on the changing table, and then when I was pumping her chest, there was like bubbles, bubbles coming out of her mouth. So I thought maybe that's why I thought she choked. And then maybe if I kept pumping, like it would, like maybe it would come out, and then she'd like cough and wake up. So I just kept wiping the bubbles, and I was giving her air and giving her pumping with my feet, which is my 2 fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should have done more.
Nope, you were doing it right.
And she was still so cold, and I think maybe 10 minutes. It's so hard to gauge time.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And it's not just me the whole time, and he just asked me, is she dead? Is she gone? While he's crying, just asking me, is she gone? And it's just so hard to say yes. And she said yes. She's just unresponsive. And then we had no idea what to do then at all. Like, what do we do? And so we called his parents, or we called his dad first, excuse me, and his dad said, okay, your mom and I are on our way, call the police, let them know what happened, and we'll try and get there before they do.
Huh?
And then we just spent the entire time on the couch waiting, crying. We didn't sleep, it was just my mother-in-law doesn't.
Throughout the interrogation, Tatiana inserts false lies to make her look like an ideal parent. Lies that are quickly caught onto by the detective, including how Tatiana would leave milk for her daughter while she went to work and how often she would feed her daughter. Not only that, Tatiana also lies about immediately calling the police, as the detectives know for a fact that the police were called 3 hours after Mary's body was found, after the Welches shockingly had consulted a lawyer first.
We're all parents in this room, okay? We all need to be honest. Remember in the car when I first talked with you, and I told you that at the end of the day, we all need to know exactly
this cut off. 3 hours. You waited for 3 hours? And you see why I'm saying, as I get more information in this case, now y'all see why initially the thumbnail was me smiling and saying they both got life. They both deserve life. What are we talking about? There's nothing to talk about.
Right. Okay. So we need to tell her story. Okay. And I want you to think about this for a minute. I want you to think for a second and put yourself in our shoes. You're the police officer. You're the police detective. You get called out to that home today. You get called to my home or his home today. Okay, you the police officer. And then you have to go into that house and you have to look at that precious little angel. Okay? Do you think she was healthy, honestly?
When you look at her size, and you can see every single bone in her body.
Damn, she was that skinny?
Do you think she was healthy?
She's about to cap again, I think.
We know this isn't easy, Tatiana, but we need to know what happened to her. What was going on?
So when did she start losing all that weight?
She never had to wait.
For the past 2 days.
But she's lost so much weight that you can't lose that much in 2 days. I've never seen a child that skinny.
Damn.
Never. And here's the thing. You're obviously a very concerned mom, but at what point did you know, what point did you think something was wrong?
The detective is trying to play through Tatiana's emotional side by telling her she's a concerned mother, which in turn would make her more comfortable and open up to the police.
When's the last time that you actually inspected her, that you looked at her? Tell me the truth.
Every time when I change her, and I think I just may have been just so blinded, and I just...
What were you blinded by? Because I know, listen, you are an intelligent, articulate, college-educated, early childhood development. You know when you look at someone that something's wrong. I have a picture of her right here. I'm prepared to show you. That tells you no medical treatment. As dumb as I am, I'm not near as intelligent as you. I can't speak the words you can speak. I am not you. And even I can look at this photo and I can say, whoa, something's wrong. It put tears in our eyes when we walked in there. It was that obvious.
Tatiana, I'm going to be quite honest with you right now, okay? One parent to another, right? And I'm going to try and control my emotions, all right?
I'm trying to figure out which one's good cop and which one's bad cop. I think it's the dude in the orange is the good cop, and the dude with the tie on is the bad cop.
I've been to a child death investigator school, and I've seen photos and images of children that have been malnourished. And I'm telling you right now, this is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Oh no, really?
Yes.
Oh.
You know what, this is baggage, this is something that, but all I want to know is what stopped you from seeking help? You knew something was wrong. What stopped you? Tell us the truth.
I mean, are you guys that financially strapped? I mean, what is it? Do you not believe in healthcare? Do you have religious beliefs? I mean, what is it?
We do have religious beliefs, and we were praying about it, and we have faith that.
When did you start praying about it?
After the officer brings it up, Tatiana brings up religion as an excuse as to why they'd refuse to go to a doctor.
I think within a month it started to become.
Okay, we passed this too.
About a month.
Let me ask you this: when was the last time you bathed her?
Huh? What do you mean? The day before she died? The day? Like what? What are we talking about?
Maybe 2 weeks ago.
What? There's no way. I don't got kids, so maybe that's. Nah, there's no way. 2 weeks? You ain't bathed your child in 2 weeks? 2 weeks? If she'd have said 2 days ago, I guess 2 weeks. What the?
So about a month ago, you notice that her bones are all showing, right? And so, is that when you started happily praying?
It was the past few days, because about a month ago it would be like full, and then 2 days later it would be shrunken in, but then within the day it'd be full again. But then the past few days it wouldn't fill up as quickly as it did.
What?
But listen, here's what I'm saying, Mary. Listen, I get that, but her legs were as small as my pointer finger.
Damn.
So that didn't happen in 3 days.
No.
This is like an 8-month-old we're talking about. Like, tip pointer finger. What the hell?
And I know that you know that, and I know that you wanted to get her help, but I'm trying to just figure out, when did this happen? I understand that maybe you started seeing some kind of symptoms a month ago, but when did she consistently lose all of this weight? When did she consistently become skin and bones?
I think it was within the month.
So
She was always just so thin, and
so within a month. So then why, when we had a month to look at her like this, why didn't we get help?
we thought she'd get better without getting help.
How did you think she was going to get better?
By feeding her and being with her.
Was she really truly eating the way that you were telling us?
Yes,
Because if you want, he has a photo of her, and if you want to see it, I mean, I'm pretty sure that I explained this to both you and Seth when you were in my car with me. There's going to be an autopsy done, okay? And there was a person from the medical examiner's office at the house, okay?
So we're gonna know all this, what we're saying.
Yeah.
And you're not a bad person. We get all this, and we get that there's a dynamic here that we're trying to figure out. There is a dynamic here. I'm gonna tell you, I know it. I know there's a dynamic, and I feel that you wanted to get her help. I'm trying to just figure out why you didn't. What's the dynamic? What am I missing? Because you can't tell me that this Brooklyn, New York, this New York city college educated, Grand Rapids Community College, early childhood person didn't know that this girl needed help, but something stopped her.
The detective doesn't believe that Tatiana's husband Seth really had a part in stopping Tatiana from feeding her daughter. He then pushes her to change her false story, inching closer to the truth behind what actually happened.
If Seth told you that God told him to sacrifice one of your children, would you do it?
No.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm trying to wrap my head around. How many conversations did you have with Seth about this?
Not very many. Maybe 2 at most, just because we didn't want to worry about it. We trusted God then.
Would he get angry talking about it?
No, I think he'd be very sure.
What would happen? How would he react if you took her to the doctor anyway?
Not sure. Something like that has never happened.
I'm just asking you to speculate.
I think he would just be concerned that CPS would be called, but not angry. Just say, okay, just know that you took to the doctor. Expect CPS to come to the house.
He's not an angry type person.
No.
How is he as far as emotional goes?
He's not afraid to cry.
Does he cry a lot? Would you say that he wears his emotions on his sleeve?
I suppose. I mean, when we were going through our marriage, the beginning of it, and he was very expressive about about his feelings and how he would like to be treated and how I wasn't, treating him well. And then, in return, told me he realized that he wasn't being a respectful husband and wasn't treating me well either. So he's very intuitive and expressive, which is rare, I suppose.
The detective then confronts Tatiana as to why the police weren't called as soon as they had found Mary dead.
I'm sorry I don't have an answer for you. I was just so... never could imagine that could happen.
Jason and I have been doing this a long time, and I understand, and I've seen it time and time again, everybody deals with stress and reacts to things differently. But if there's one thing that I've seen in the course of doing this job for a long time is there's usually never a hesitation to pick up the phone and call 911. That is a pretty ingrained, rapid, basic, life-saving response that is ingrained in everybody, especially in our country because of our emergency medical system that we have.
When did you first teach your kids about 911? When did you first teach your children about 911?
We never did. Why would we?
Less than a year ago.
Okay. So when you're doing CPR, you don't scream to Seth, call 911.
No, and I know that that's like the second step, or the first step actually. What?
I think she just realized what she said. Like, you ever caught yourself saying, and you like, did I just say this? Like, second step, huh? What?
Did you think by calling 911 that he would think your faith was less?
No, not at all. Actually,
Okay.
He called his dad first. Wiping the spit up from her face, and then he went to contact his parents. I don't know how long that took. I was just after she wasn't responding, I was just sitting there rocking her. I don't know for how long. I have no idea for how long. And then after he got off the phone with his dad said, "Okay, wait until we are close. And then call the police so we can get there at the same time they do, so we can help with anything, I suppose, legally."
So, the 2+ hours of time that went by from discovery till 911. All I know, and I'm just asking if you can think of anything else, all I know of is 10 minutes of CPR and sitting on the couch and sweeping the house. Is there any other activity that occurred? Again, some of the stuff is just so weird, we're just trying to make sense of it.
I understand. If I were in your position, I wouldn't understand it either, and I'm having trouble gauging it as well. I spent quite some time just holding her and just rocking her, and then I put her back down on her bed, and I put her blanket on her, and then I just checked on the kids, make sure they were cleaning the room. And
Did you put any additional clothing on her when you put her back in the crib?
No, I didn't.
So what was in the crib is exactly what was in there. You didn't change anything.
Oh, I'm sorry. By clothing, I just assumed you meant what she was wearing on her. That was left on her. I covered her up fully, and I added her little head blanket.
What do you mean you covered her fully? With clothing or a
with
blanket?
a gray blanket.
Okay.
Was that blanket in the crib prior or not?
Yes, up to her knees. I wrap it around her knees, down to her feet, just so that she knows her chances. Over the head pulling, she's never done that before anyway.
And what about this thing that you were talking about, the head pillow or whatever? Where was that
It
at?
was just a comfy blanket. It was on the side on the rocking chair. I just watched.
So that's the only thing that wasn't in the crib? Was that one?
Yeah. And she had her polar bear in there. It was by her feet.
After finishing up with Tatiana, the detectives move to the room where Seth is in.
Finally.
Seth appears cold and standoffish, and this may be because he was left waiting for the entirety of the time the detective spoke to his wife. After being read his rights, the detectives ask Seth about the time and incidents that took place when their first child was born.
Why I'm very anti-medical industry is because of what happened with her birth. She coughed one time, and so they said that they had to keep her under observation for 72 hours to make sure she didn't have a breathing problem. She didn't have a breathing problem. She coughed one time to clear some birth fluid out of her lungs.
Right.
And they kept us under observation for 72 hours.
Oh, wow, you're paying for it?
Of course, yeah, the bill was about $15,000. So.
Damn! Kids expensive than a mother. 15 banks. Oh, they must not have insurance though. 15 banks.
So that was kind of a kick in the rear. And then afterwards, we had some problems where I actually had a doctor make a fraudulent CPS claim, and I actually forged paperwork and stuff like that. And I tried making some claim about it, but nobody listened.
More of a get-rich scheme, wasn't it? Kind of like, I'm gonna make some money off from a product someone really doesn't need.
Yes.
And
he issued two separate flavors, forms of paperwork. One that had a bunch of notes on it saying all sorts of bad.
That's how I know he smoked dope. That man just said flavors. This is not your plug we talking about, stupid.
Healthcare things we were doing wrong with PS person, and the copy of the paperwork he gave to us that said she was fine. So that was about my last straw with it.
Was that to do with the helmet? And is that so it all started with, if I'm right, it all started with the helmet.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
it all started with the cough, but to the helmet.
I'm not a big fan of a lot of the immunization stuff, and so I kind of bulked against that, and they didn't like that either. They even got to the point where they, the first time we changed doctors, they called CPS on us just for changing doctors, because the doctor we were seeing was all the way in Byron Center.
Seth is painting himself out to be a victim of the doctor's cruel techniques to make extra money. Just like Tatiana, all Seth is doing is confirming the patterns of child neglect that he and his wife conform to. Seth then talks about how he cooked up nutritional food for his kids while his wife was at work. But when asked about why Mary appeared malnourished, Seth has an absurd answer, claiming God makes people in various shapes and sizes.
God didn't make us all, yeah, exactly. So I kind of chalked it up to that. I was not happy about how skinny she was. That's why, if you look in the house, you can see all the baby food. That's potatoes with chicken and cheese, and everything matches up with what I'm saying. I guess she was always very healthy. She was never sick. Okay, that's it. She's sickly and skinny, but she was always just skinny.
But Seth, that's where I'm going to disagree with you. Okay? I'm a parent. I'm a father. I have 3 children.
Mm-hmm.
He's a father. You're a father.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And I'm just being honest with you. Okay? Because I don't know how to be anything other than. Okay? And I'm telling you right now, I've been doing this job for a long time. Okay? And he'll tell you when I walked in that bedroom today. Alright? I started crying. Okay? I looked at that little baby, and I looked at her for a millisecond, and I knew that she wasn't right. And I knew that she wasn't right for some time. Okay? And you're her father.
Yes. And I'll tell you, I saw her when she was dead too. She was much more gaunt when she was dead than she ever was when she was alive. I mean, I got pictures on my phone.
Right, but let me ask you this. When's the last time you saw that baby without any clothes on in a bath?
Me? I've never given her a bath.
Okay, but you changed her diaper maybe a day and a half ago, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not putting words in your mouth. You said that, correct?
Mm-hmm.
How did you not, when you looked at her a day and a half ago changing her diaper, and realize that my daughter is skin and bones? When I looked at her belly in the house, okay, and I'm not exaggerating this.
I know.
I could see the outline of her intestines through her stomach.
Oh my God. And you see why life was deserved? See why they deserve life?
I could see her spine completely through her back. I could see every one of her ribs through her chest.
Like, bro, they ain't even get that baby a chance. What is this? What's wrong with y'all?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, like I said, I'm not happy about it either. You know, you're welcome to go through my garbage and look at the baby food containers, and
here's the thing. I'm certainly not knocking on his faith. I have the same faith and the same creator that you have. Does your faith prevent you from allowing you to use medical services?
No.
Seeing him respond in the way he does with that demeanor, as if it's nothing we are talking about here, is absolutely enraging, and at times detectives look that way too, controlling their urges against this man.
Yeah, bro, because I would have been punched him. Like, bro, you just acting like we talking about a video game or some This is our child.
The detectives then ask Seth if he feels responsible for what happened to Mary, and his answer is quite intriguing.
I feel like it's a bit of a trap question, but no, or do you just say honest, or do you think it's just God's will? Well, just because it might be God's will doesn't mean that there's not that it's not His will according to our actions, or it doesn't mean that we're not responsible in some way for what has come about. And so, I take responsibility on myself for anything that goes wrong in my life at all, even if it's totally not my fault. What could I have done?
Deep down, we all know Seth doesn't really feel responsible for his child's death, as he so claims. Seth and Tatiana are then allowed to meet, but their conversation, which should have been about their dead daughter, is instead about the stressful interrogation they'd just been through.
Just kept reading with that and let me answer.
So you told me what?
To call the police after finding out.
I told you like 6 times. I was waiting for the lawyer to be there because we knew that this would happen.
So I told them we were waiting for her. I could see your parents, but I said lawyers. And they were just, then what'd you do while you were waiting? I called off work. We slept. And I sat and cried.
Then listen to this, baby. Their job is to fill cells. It's their job. So they can fill 2 cells right now. And that's...
Maybe they were angry. Like it sounded like they were trying. I don't know, like moving, but separate us.
Of course, that's what they're doing. Trying to drive a wedge in between and then hope somebody accuses the other one. That's why they came at you first. Because they know them. They can tell by looking at me. Yeah. They can do shit to me. So if I'm going to break down and accuse you, me is who they're looking for.
What's gonna happen?
We go home and we get really baked, and I really like to not talk about it at all anymore today.
Okay.
It's so terrible. Can't ever do this again. We at least gotta take her. There's problems. We gotta take him to the doctor at least to see.
Okay.
What? Y'all think y'all gonna get a chance to do this again? Y'all think y'all get a second chance to do anything with anybody's child, let alone your own? You're done. You're done.
I think they must have heard me on the phone. Because I told my mom at 7:30, I'm getting up out of here. Getting us out of here. And that's exactly when they came through the door to come talk to us. Wow. Yeah, I was like, I'll wait till 7:30, but we're not under arrest. I'm not being charged. I'm here under my own compulsion. You know, I'm free to go. So.
Your parents are still dead?
No, they went home. They had to go meet with a CPS worker in Grand Haven.
Oh, wow. But they can see this then?
Yeah. just about to walk out of there. But he said, hey, come on down here. So I was going to be like, oh, he said 5 minutes. It's going to be another 2 hours. You know, he had me put my phone outside the door. Oh, yeah? Yeah, and I went out, I got it. I don't let you just hold me in here indefinitely with my permission while leaving me communication with. I saw the papers in the bottle cap and the lighter was out there. They told me to grab the pencil and escort me to the bathroom. And it was like 20, 30 minutes. They really had to go. So I just opened the door and I went to that. They're trying to make you seem a lot more like a prisoner than you really are. Right now, you're here under your own compulsion, and I'm not your own. Yeah, there's really not much they can do if we want to walk out right now. We're doing this as a show. And not even for them, but for probably when we have to go up in front of a judge. Is all they want to charge. They want somebody. There's got to be money involved.
Laughing about the questions they were asked, Seth and Tatiana show clear signs of narcissism as they could care less about Mary. Seth and Tatiana are eventually charged with the murder of their child, Mary Welch. Despite the hours-long interrogation, during the sentencing, Seth's mouth drops wide open in unbelievable shock, and his wife Tatiana breaks down after they're told that they're found guilty.
Deserved.
The perpetration or attempted perpetration of child abuse in the first degree, they're alleging that you murdered one Mary Welch. That is a charge called homicide felony murder. It is life without parole. It requires a DNA sample to be taken upon arrest, which is often like a cotton swab or in the inside of your cheek.
Like, get him out of there.
The second offense that you're both charged with is called child abuse in the first degree, where they're alleging you knowingly or intentionally caused serious physical harm to a child. They're talking about this Mary Welch. It is a felony, possible penalty of up to life imprisonment or any term of years less than life.
Seth and Tatiana Welch were sentenced to life in prison without parole for the first-degree felony murder of their daughter Mary Welch. Despite all that, Seth's stance on doctors and his inactions, which caused Mary's death, still doesn't appear to have changed.
I believe we were chosen to go through this trial because God has prepared me to be a strong voice for Him. Whether I am to be vindicated and set free, and the courts can see that this was truly just, I don't think it's unexplainable, sir. I think that the autopsy was lazily done. I believe that they found the cause of death, and that was, they stopped there. But as we know, I believe something caused her body to shut down that way. And I will say also that I had a farm animal, a goat, just a couple days before, who died of the exact same way. He had food, he had water, I even watched him eat, and he still just wasted away before my eyes.
So even given what you know now, you don't wish that you had been taking her for regular treatment from a pediatrician?
Well, here's the thing, sir, I just don't... like I said, it seems to me, from what I see, not only from what I see with my own two eyes going on among the people of this nation, but also the statistics that are out there that you can find that aren't readily published on the news or talked about in mainstream education, but you can find them if you look. I mean, it's dangerous to take your kid to the doctor's office these days. It is. It just plain is. And you know, if you don't do what they say, if you don't buy what they want you to buy so that they can make some money off you, for the love of money is the root of all kinds of evils, they'll call the government on you. I had it happen, sir.
And as you would expect, evil people who do the opposite a parent should.
Okay. Seth's an idiot. That's part one of when evil parents realize they've been caught. 2, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video.
Everything I'm seeing, I achieve it, bitch, we best. Everything I'm seeing, I achieve it, bitch, we best. Everything Everything I'm seeing, I achieved it, bitch, you best believe it. It has been my Nintendo shit, shit, though, kick it with my kinfolk. Haters just be talking, so I really do not need that info. That info, Chakra ascending, I'm back in this bitch, hell let me bend it. Mind on $1 million and I'm needing like every percentage. Feel like Naruto when the leaf is hitting. It's so hard to stay hidden. It's dying soul sitting out, don't me mention what cobblestone slithering. Playing both sides in this village, trying to give you mummy vision like views from the dead. You probably resemble where the tension victim searching for a Shinigami or a Zilla. This